Hi all, thank you for joining me for Friday. And today we're gonna do some Friday, just bring ourselves present and do some tapping. So especially today we're gonna talk about maybe tapping for being overwhelmed. So first I wanted to talk about Philippians 2:12 through 18, and the part that stuck out to me, for it is God who works in you to will and to act in order to fulfill his good purpose. Do everything without grumbling or arguing, so that you may become blameless and pure children of God, without fault in a warped and crooked generation. Then you will shine among them like stars in the sky as you hold firmly to the word of life. So if you are feeling discouraged or tired or beat down this week, I wanted to encourage you that you will shine among them like stars in the sky as you hold firmly to the word of life. So hold firmly to the word of truth, the word of life, the word that you know is truth, God's word. For it is God who works in you to will and to act in order to fulfill his good purpose. Do everything without grumbling or arguing. It's very hard. So that you may become blameless and pure children of God, without fault in a wicked or a warped and crooked generation. Again, then you will shine among them like stars in the sky as you hold firmly to the word of life. And sometimes, even times when you're tired or times like this where everything seems to be in chaos, you may feel like you have nothing to give, or you may feel like, why does God even want to pour into me? And I found this quote from Dom Augustine Durand. I know I'm butchering the name, but I loved what it says. God will know how to draw glory even from our faults. Not to be downcast after committing a fault is one of the marks of true sanctity. And sanctity means holiness, godliness, sacred. But I thought that was so cool. God will know how to draw glory even from our faults. So even from our faults, even from the things that we've done wrong, even from the things that we don't understand, God knows how to draw glory out of that. He knows how to draw glory to himself out of that. And so to not be downcast after committing a fault or after making a mistake is one of the marks of true sanctity. So I encourage you this weekend this next coming week that if there are faults, if there are failures, to not be discouraged, but to know that God can pull even glory out of your faults. So we're going to get into some tapping, and remembering that our tapping points are the karate chop right here, and we use our fingertips, and we tap here. We go about 7 to 9 taps, and then we've got our fingertips, and we tap along the part of the hair or the head. If you don't have a part, just on your head. We do the eyebrow or the ridge of the eyes, underneath the eyes, the side of the eyes, underneath the nose, the chin, the collarbone, and underneath the arm. So those are our tapping points. Now I'm going to go over what tapping is again. And Uhernik and Kolk talk about emotional freedom technique, or EFT. It's an energy psychology, and tapping is part of that. It's when we use the fingers to push on pressure points. And tapping brings to mind a memory stressor. What we're going to do is we're going to bring to mind a stressor. And then while holding that stressor in, we tap through these points. And what it does is it calms down the autonomic nervous system. And if it's aroused, or you've got anxiety going on, being overwhelmed, as you can tell, my mouth is having a hard time talking today. But what we're doing is we're keeping your autonomic, you're keeping your nervous system in the window of tolerance. So the window of tolerance, Dr. Arielle Schwartz explains it wonderfully. And she says that the window of tolerance, developed by Dr. Daniel Siegel, refers to the optimal zone of the nervous system arousal, where you are able to respond effectively to your emotions. So when you go outside of your window of tolerance, you go into survival mode. So you go into the feeling anxious, feeling overwhelmed, feeling overloaded, feeling panicked. These are all signs that you are hyper or over aroused and outside of your window of tolerance. On the other hand, if you are feeling numb or feeling disconnected or shut down, those are signs of hypo or under arousal. And so again, you're still outside that window of tolerance. So when you have complex PTSD, and we've talked about complex PTSD before, complex PTSD is having a traumatic event when you're younger, or a repeated traumatic event, or it's an intense traumatic event that causes that complex PTSD that changes your DNA. But when you have that complex PTSD alternating between the two extremes of feeling stuck in that hyper arousal or that hypo arousal, being stuck, feeling like you're stuck in one or the other is very normal. And then practicing emotional regulation, like what we're going to do today, emotional freedom technique. This is an exercise like tapping. You are focusing on developing the capacity to stay within your window of tolerance. So what we're doing through this exercise, through tapping, is we're kind of feeling around. We're feeling around in ourselves of where our limits are. So where is our window of tolerance? So you're focusing on the capacity to stay within your window of tolerance by cultivating mindfulness of changes in your feelings, of thoughts or emotional changes, of changes in your body. So as you increase in your awareness of these, as you continue to do your tapping or your yoga or other things that bring your mind and body and spirit together, you increase your awareness of these subtle signs. So you also increase your awareness of dysregulation and distress, which you all of a sudden can be like, oh, I'm starting to feel irritable or out of control or angry. My breath is becoming shallow and my jaw is becoming tight. Okay, I need to do something about this. So that's what this is for. That's what this one of the, like an emotional freedom technique like tapping. It is to find your window of tolerance, to stay within it, and to begin to help yourself regulate your I said it earlier, your autonomic nervous system. Okay. So, first of all, we know our tapping places. What we're going to do is we're going to check in. So today we're going to do our tapping on being overwhelmed about possibly things going on in your life or things going on in the world. So being overwhelmed by those things. So that's going to be our stressor. So we're going to focus in on that stressor. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how overwhelmed or out of control are you feeling? And it can be about anything. It can be about the dishes that are sitting on your sink. It can be about things that are going on in the world. It can be about whatever is on your mind, on your heart, whatever is taking you out of that window of tolerance. So finding that and now rating it on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being I'm in Hawaii and everything's perfect, and 10 being it's out of control, I'm going to shut down, or I'm going to go out of control. So finding yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 where you're at. And we're going to start with karate chop, and we're going to center ourselves. So you can repeat after me, and I'll say it as slow as I can. I'll try and remember to. Okay. Even though my mind is filled with all of the things going on and all of the things I need to do, I want to find clarity and calm bit by bit. Even though it will make life difficult if I do not finish my tasks, this unnecessary adrenaline rush is making me feel overwhelmed, and I want to find my peace right now. Even though this mental pressure to start or finish a task or things going on in our world. It's making me anxious. I'm open to allowing myself to slow down enough to be able to think clearly. Even though there are too many things going on right now, what if I could be more mindful from now on? What if I could choose who I give my time to and what I do with my time? So we'll go ahead and start at the top of our head with our tapping points. So repeating after me. So many things happening. I'm feeling so overwhelmed. How am I supposed to process through all of this? All of this pressure about my task, things to do, things going on. All of these pending things feel like a big cloud looming over me, fogging over me, causing me to feel urgency without clarity. I can do so much better when I have clarity. I can think better when I'm not overwhelmed or confused. My life feels like an emergency room. I am not in danger, but why do I feel urgency? This is not a fight or flight situation. Some things need to be done now, and some things can be done later. Some things need to be done later. So by putting all of these things, all of my thoughts, into the urgent box, I am only weighing myself down with worry. Wouldn't it be nice if everything made sense? Like pieces of a puzzle, without me shaping things to make them fit where they don't. Maybe I could make space between my thoughts, between my events, between the things that make me anxious, so they fit gently into the larger picture, so I can handle them well and responsibly, and be proud of the things I can accomplish and thoughts I can change and release. And let's go ahead and do a check-in right here. So let's inhale deeply and exhale it. And again, inhale deeply and exhale it. So checking in. What are you feeling? What are you feeling like? How are you feeling? What sensations are you feeling in your body? Remembering that feeling dizzy or lightheaded, like you're going to sneeze, like you're going to cough, headache, all of those things are very normal sensations and feelings when we're working on that on that nervous system. So don't be alarmed or anxious if these things come up. Don't be alarmed or anxious if fears come up, or if other feelings come up. Don't be anxious or alarmed, just curious. If it's too much, if this has been too much, then give yourself permission to be done for today, to walk away. Give yourself permission to stop. You are enough, and you have done enough. Let's keep going. But if I do not feel this urgency in my bones, I will probably not do what needs to be done. I will probably not make the right choices. Shouldn't I be able to do more, since there is more going on? When I relax or make space, doesn't that make me lazy? What if I could do the things that I could manage without overstressing myself, without creating all this stress? Even if I am only doing things I can manage, I do not need to feel overwhelmed. All this pressure to be part of everything and do everything is only pushing me into exhaustion instead of moving me forward. I'm smart enough to make space. I choose to slow down enough to recognize the things that are urgent and the things that are not. And maybe to make a real list with paper and a pencil, instead of carrying around mental notes. No matter how much pressure I feel or put on myself to get things done right now or understand things right now, things take time to be done and understood. Even if there are things I cannot do or understand. During the time I set for myself to work through these things, that's okay. I know that I am trying to do the best that I can at all times. Everything may fall into place on its own. Wouldn't it be nice if I did not feel I had to control it? And let's check in again. So inhale deeply and exhale and inhale and exhale. And again, check in with yourself. How are you feeling? What are you feeling? Where are you feeling those things at? And then on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at? So are you still up in your 7, 8, 9, 10 area, or are you coming down to maybe a 5, 4, 3 area? So recognizing those things, taking that break, taking stock, and again, feel free to stop whenever you need to. Starting at our head. What if I could be calm without feeling things are urgent or out of control? I choose to slow down. I choose to slow down and step back. I will be able to work through it in good time. All this rushing adrenaline, I do not need it to keep me moving forward. I feel so much more in control when I am relaxed. When I am calm, I feel like I am in charge. We're going to slow it down again. What if I could be calm without things feeling urgent or out of control? I choose to slow down. I choose to slow down and step back. I will be able to work through it in good time. All this rushing adrenaline, I do not need it to keep me moving forward. I feel so much more in control when I am relaxed. When I am calm, I can move forward and feel in control. I choose to release this nervous energy. I choose to do the things I can do now. I choose to release all of this stress about all of the things I cannot control. I choose to trust myself to do what is necessary. I choose to clear my mind. I choose to relax and take a deep breath. I choose to feel good knowing that I am smart and responsible. Now to karate chop. I choose to feel calm and confident. I choose to feel calm and confident. I choose to feel calm and confident and relax. Let's go ahead and inhale and exhale it and inhale it again and exhale it. Good, and do another check-in. So how are you feeling? How's your body feeling? How's your mind feeling? Are you feeling still sensations? What's going on in your body? So recognizing that, and then taking another check on your 1 to 10. Where are you at on your scale of 1 to 10? If you're still feeling like that you're up at an 8 or 10, then go ahead, rewind this, and do the tapping again. Or there are a couple other tapping videos on this channel that you can do as well. So you can do that. If this is enough, if you feel like you've brought yourself down to a 4, a 3, a 2, then wonderful. And recognize that you've got this, that you can do this whenever you need to. So I hope this was helpful for your autonomic nervous system, your atomic nervous system. And I hope that it was able to bring you down a little bit, or maybe even just the practice of bring you grounding and centering. Remember that you are seen and that you are heard, that you are important and you are valuable. You have a voice and you have a choice. Remember, you cannot control what others do, what others say, or the choices that they make, but you can control how you choose to respond. You can control the information you choose to take in. You can control the places that you choose to get that information from. You can control the people that you surround yourself with, and you can control the words that you choose to give others. So I hope that you have a blessed day, a blessed weekend, and we will see you guys next time.